Wake up and let's go to the Mindless Morning Show. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Mindless Morning Show. I'm with my co-host, as always, Dakota. And today we have a very, very special guest. We have Ryan Cassata. I hope I said that last name properly.
Yep.
Perfect. That's a very, very nice last name. I like it. Where does that originate from?
Thank you. That is Sicilian Italian.
Nice. Okay. I had a hunch, but I didn't want to make any assumptions. So you're a singer, a songwriter. I mean, you're incredibly talented, and I'll let you take it away and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, sure. I guess I wear a lot of hats. I do obviously singing and songwriting is my main thing, which I've been doing since I was a little kid. And I also do acting and activism since I was 13.
Cool.
What is activism at 13 for you?
Yeah, at 13 years old, I was already going to speak at other schools and educate them about the LGBTQ community.
At 13, wow.
Yeah.
I had to take speech my senior year of high school because nobody had told me that I had to take speech to graduate. So I remember my senior year of high school doing speech, and I hated it. So that's crazy that you were doing that at 13.
Yeah, I was pretty fearless. Now looking back now, it's kind of weird to be like, dang, at 13 I was doing this.
Yeah.
13, I was still playing video games, picking my nose. So, like, kudos to both of you. I was quite lame in my younger years. So,
As compared to now.
hey man, I'm pretty cool. Okay.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
So, Ryan, you are a transgender female to male. Tell us about that journey and what has brought you what brought you to that point and where you're at now.
Yeah, I guess like really it was always like a feeling of being different, but I couldn't pinpoint what it was exactly. I have two brothers and we were all pretty much raised the same by my parents. Like we were allowed to play with any toys and pretty much dress the way that we wanted to and express ourselves the way that we wanted to. So my parents were never like strict about gender rules and stereotypes and stuff like that. So I kind of had free range. And then I think like around puberty is when I started to realize I was like pretty different than my brothers, but also very the same, right? So when I was at the LGBT center because I realized I was bisexual, but I'd never heard of trans yet. And then I met someone that was trans there. And this was like back in 2007. So back then was like trans wasn't like a big thing. Like people didn't know what transgender was or trans. Like it's not like it is now where people ask pronouns and things like that. Like people really didn't know about being trans. So when I came out, it was very like uncool to be trans. And I realized I was trans because I met someone else that was like me and it just made sense. And then I came out pretty much right away after meeting that person and started to live authentically. And I mean, not much changed. Like the way I dressed was the same. All the things that I like to do were the same. I still like watched baseball religiously. Like everything was the same besides my name and my pronouns.
It's so you. I now this is only my assumption based on the music that I've seen. Your name used to be Sarah and now is Ryan. What made you choose Ryan?
Yeah, and also like a lot of trans people are very like uncomfortable with saying their birth names, but I think because I've been out now like over a decade, over half my life. I'm comfortable with it now. Like I don't want to be called it, but I put it in a song just to like acknowledge where I came from. So I just want to make sure like that's known for other trans people. But yeah, basically the name Ryan, I mean, I was literally 13 when I picked the name. And I just like I asked my friends like what's a name that's like gender neutral but like leans towards masculine, and they were like Ryan, and I was like okay. Like it wasn't like I was literally 13. So I feel like if I was older, and I'm kind of glad that I picked it young because like then like in ninth grade I went through like the Doors phase, like the music.
Mm-hmm.
And I also went through a Jack Kerouac phase, so like my name would have been like Jim or Jack. And, like I'm just glad that it's not.
So there's no other name you would have preferred nowadays?
Yeah, sometimes I think about going by my middle name, but it's like too late.
That's what I do.
Oh, oh yeah,
Yeah, and Dakota's my middle name.
that's cool.
Yeah. I don't think the listeners have ever heard my real name.
Go ahead, say it, man.
Do we what? Bubba Trouble? No, it's not that cool. It's it's Elijah.
Oh, that's a cool name too.
Yeah, yeah. I just always have been Dakota. I've gone by Elijah a couple of times at work, just because it was too late to change it. And I was like, whatever. But yeah. Exciting.
I changed my name is when I worked at Toys R Us because there was already 3 other Joshes.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, just call me Leroy.
Leroy.
It has absolutely nothing to do with me aside from the fact that I just liked Leroy Jenkins. That whole video clip for World of Warcraft, and also.
Yeah.
Are you sure you didn't want to use Barnaby?
No, Barnaby wasn't a thing then.
This Josh's new name. When he changes it, he's going from Josh to Barnaby. It's been decided.
So, so tell us how was that for you? Because at the time, I mean, even nowadays, it's still there's still a stigma around transgender. So back then, when you say, as you say, it's wasn't cool. How was that for you? How much of a struggle, and how much of that have you put into your music?
Yeah, I mean, it was a huge struggle. I mean, I was bullied a lot. My parents didn't get it. My extended family definitely didn't get it. Like, we stopped getting invited to holidays.
Wow.
And there was no resources really either. Like, there's 2 websites like on the entire internet that had resources. And now there's probably like 3 million, right?
Yeah.
So this is like a very very different time, especially for like a teenager. It's different if you're like 18 and you could go anywhere you want, but I was like in suburbia on Long Island, New York, where I grew up. And yeah, I mean, it went into my music. Not like, I mean, I've written like probably 500 songs and
Dang.
more, but
That's
like
awesome.
maybe like 10 of them are about being trans or queer. So it's like it's not like a huge writing topic for me, but it does come up, and like sometimes it's more like an activism side. But yeah, I mean, my album coming out, there's 3 songs actually, that's probably the most I've ever had on one album that are about my experience. The one that just came out, Come On Sarah, It's Great to Be 8, that's my birth name, and that's that song, it talks more about like what it was like to be like one of the voices of the trans community. Like I was literally 15 when I went on international television on the Larry King live show and became like this one of the main spokespeople for the trans community, and that was like a huge weight for me to carry. So I have that song, and then there's another song about that as well. Like the pandemic allowed me to process a lot of stuff.
I imagine.
So what
Cooped up.
when you were going through all of that at a younger age, was music always something that you had as well, like even that young?
Yeah, music.
Yeah.
I started music when I was 6 years old, and
Nice.
from every single summer that I was a teenager, I spent at a music camp, a sleepaway music camp. And at that music camp, it was called Power Chord Academy. Unfortunately, it no longer exists, but it was like a bunch of like rock and roll kids. Like we just like listened to classic rock and played music all day and nothing else mattered.
That's
And
cool.
at that camp, it was like no one cared that I was
Hmm.
trans, and like I stayed in the boys' dorm, and no one said anything. Like no one thought differently of me, and we just played music. And so I got to have, because of that camp, I got to have like a little bit of a normal teenage years.
That's really cool.
And what would you classify your genre of music? Because you do have quite a wide variety. It seems like you can go from like good rock, like punk rock, and even alternative or even poppy a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to put it into a genre box. This new album, I would say, is mostly like a fusion of like hip hop, emo, and
Nice.
pop. But I mean, that's just my perspective. You know, it's hard to tell from the inside.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I
cool.
mean, you're definitely talented. You
Yeah.
go into each genre, it seems, and you kill it. So
Thank you.
kudos. And so, when you said like your family and things like that weren't too accepting at first, I was listening to the song "Daughters." So, is it safe to assume that like your dad did not have the greatest of time accepting that, and how did you handle that aside from writing the song?
Yeah, I mean, it was hard for many years. My dad was not understanding. And then when I was like 18 is when he started to come around. And I think it was like one, just seeing that it wasn't a phase, and then two, just seeing that like, look, I'm still like living my dream. And also like the fact that like my parents, when I came out, my parents were afraid. They were afraid that like this meant my life was over, basically,
Yeah.
you know, that I was going to be killed and or something, you know, or that I just wasn't going to be chosen for anything. And by like 18 years old, I already had like a decent following for my music and respect as an activist. So I think that showed my parents that like it's okay, you know, like it worked out. It worked out for me, and it doesn't work out for everyone. Not yet, you know. Eventually it will, but that's what we're fighting for, right? But like my parents probably had to see that it would work out for me to be more accepting.
Hmm.
That's crazy. I mean, what is it that as an activist now that you do to kind of help others along their journey?
Yeah, a lot of my activism is focused on youth. So I do like a lot of anti-bullying work, like going into schools and educating young people so that they choose not to bully.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff like that. And I've done like other campaigns and petitions and those sort of things as well, and just speeches everywhere. But you know, really a lot of it just comes down to awareness.
Yeah, for sure. With your activism in music, who are your biggest inspirations growing up for both of those?
For activism, Harvey Milk was my greatest inspiration. He graduated from
Nice.
my high school, so
Oh, wow, that's cool.
yeah, we were taught about him quite a lot. And then for my music, what I grew up mostly listening to classic rock. So Bruce Springsteen was like my biggest inspiration. And then when I was in high school, I started to get really into punk, like old punk, so like
Hmm.
early punk. And now like I mostly listen to hip hop. So it all just like changed, but like all of that fused together somehow, and that's what my music is now.
Well, it worked out pretty well. So,
So what is it that you like? What are your hobbies now, and what do you do? Um, like just on your spare time when you're not making music and being an activist.
Yeah, I don't have much uh spare time. I own a music blog, so I run that. I work for that. It's called Rock the Pigeon. And then I just like to do like other things. Like I'm learning drums and bass. So I've just been like learning the rhythm section of music, and I like to skate. I'm not great at it, but I like to skate and BMX and stuff. And I just got into running too. So I run
Do you ever take the time to just like relax?
uh,
It sounds like you're always just going, going, going.
yeah, I think I'm just built like that. And both of my parents are like that too. So
Nice.
I think it's the way we're wired.
I'm built different.
Just gotta stay busy. It makes everything so much easier to get by.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So I gotta ask that since you're doing it in the running, is that runner's high like a real thing? Like you get that second win, you just haul ass again?
Yeah. Like the first mile sucks. And then around like mile 2, that runner's high happens and you're just like, whoa, you know. I ran a triathlon on a relay team like 2 weeks ago, and like
Okay.
getting close to the finish line and crossing the finish line, I felt like I was like flying. Like it was so great. Like the feeling was crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm unfortunately not in the
Yeah.
best of shape. Aside from like circles of shape. Um, I did one 5K one time to honor a buddy that had passed away, and I thought I was gonna pass away. It was insane, uh, 5K, because it wasn't just like I couldn't just run. There was these crazy inflatable obstacles that like made everything
What?
so yeah.
Ninja Warrior in there.
Basically, like there was one that like it was like a giant slide, and I started to run down, and like dude, I almost ate shit hard, and there was like the cameraman there. I was like, oh god. So it was intense, but a lot of fun. I never got that runner's high, just like gasping for air, thinking I was like I need a break. Hold on, let me just walk.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah. I mean,
I played basketball, so we had time to take a break when you were playing.
yeah, no, that was terrible. I won't do it again. Maybe.
One time thing.
I mean, as long as there's no inflatables, I'm good. But that was too much with all the extra obstacles, and yeah, I'm sorry to ask you so many questions. You're just coming off of a strep throat, so
Oh
that
no, no worries.
sucks. So,
Yeah.
don't
I
mean
know I
to.
sang through 2 shows with it, and I had no idea I had strep throat. And then like middle of the second night, I was like singing, and all of a sudden I tried to hit a note, and it was just silence. Fuck.
You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, so like I was like, great. So then like the entire rest of the show, then like 2 songs after that, my guitar string broke. So I just ended up not doing my guitar, and my band had to just play everything. And then I also had to avoid like all of these very specific notes. So it was like a very challenging show, but no one knew that I was losing my voice, which was good.
That is good. Yeah. Just like in the middle of it, you go to the high pitch and nothing comes out. You're just like, oh, sorry, everybody.
I was like, wow, gone.
That speaks volumes for your talent and your ability to sing. You should have just, if anybody said anything, you should have been like, I was waiting for you guys to speak up. What the hell?
Yeah, that was your line.
Yeah, cue. So I mean it's very impressive. And as of today, for our viewers and listeners, Magic Miracle Mile is your new EP that's out. So I mean, people should definitely
LP.
check that
LP.
out.
Yeah.
LP, Josh, come on.
Sorry, I got.
What was it? You said one the other day when we were doing our solo episode? That's like, no, EP.
Yeah,
14 tracks.
14. Okay. Yeah,
What's the difference between all of those? Is it the track number or?
Oh yeah, an EP is like so an EP is like a single but an extended play. So it's like an extended single, and then an LP is a long play. So technically anything over 40 minutes is supposed to be an album, but now they consider like 5 too. So
See, it all makes sense now. Now I'm like looking back on everything when I was younger and listening to stuff. I'm like, oh, now it all makes sense when they release stuff.
I'm ashamed to admit how many artists I've interviewed, and I've never once knew what them.
I know we never had the opportunity to ask. I feel like,
Yeah. Yeah, also I didn't want to like seem dumb. I feel like maybe that was common knowledge or something because I see it around all the time, and I'm like,
it's the
"Nah."
Mindless Morning Show.
About vinyl too. Like I think it's about like vinyl, right? Like LP, because it's like a 7-inch full, But now it's like kind of irrelevant.
So are you doing a vinyl? I mean, vinyls are still
I
kicking.
want to.
Yeah,
I know
those are cool.
want to. They're kind of like there's like a shortage right now though, with printing them. Yeah, that's what I.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. There's shortages of everything going on now, but
Yeah, for real.
I mean, it's crazy. So what is it that, or first off, actually, where are you? You said you were from Long Island. Where are you now?
I live in LA. That's where I'm at right now.
Okay.
That's where I'm from. I don't live there anymore either. I'm like,
The Miracle Mile District.
what's up?
Do you know the Miracle Mile District? So Miracle Mile is kind of like mid-city area.
I wasn't in LA. I guess I'm from the LA area. I was in West Hills, Woodland Hills. So like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I named the album after that district because I recorded it all in my apartment there.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, Dakota's a total poser. He's like over there, like, yeah, no, I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah,
what
yeah. I mean, no, I have no idea what you're talking about, but yeah. I was outside of LA. We didn't go into LA too much, because anytime we did, it was always in like the bad places for basketball. So we like tried to avoid LA, and then we'd go to Hollywood, and it was usually like hookers and crackheads walking around during the day. so my parents were like, "Yeah, don't go to LA." Yep.
Jeez.
I was a valley boy, not a valley girl. Like totally.
There you go. So, and what future projects do you have going or in the works of?
Yeah, I'm working on the follow-up record for this album, so I'm always one album ahead.
That's smart.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely
Kind
gets you set
of.
up.
I don't plan it like that. It's just like I write so much that it's like it's ridiculous.
Do you produce your own music at all, or beats?
Yeah. So producing my own music has definitely sped up the process for me a lot. So I'm not waiting on anyone.
Yeah,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
that's cool.
Like I literally played bass on this album because the bass player that was gonna play bass on the album was like taking too long, and I was like, I'll just do it. So I was like, I learned bass, to be able to play it.
You're taking too long. I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah,
Like, they literally learned how to play the bass and did it yourself before they did it.
Hey, I mean, more power to you, because this guitar there, that's just for show. Like,
Yeah, I don't think I've ever. Your daughter plays it more than you do.
she does. Like,
Every single time we're playing games and you hear it, I'm just like, dude, you should let her play guitar because that already sounds better than anything I could play. Like,
Oh wow.
Yeah. No, she's two. She'll just sit there and strum the strings, and yeah,
dude, it sounds pretty good.
I'll make fun of myself here. So I bought this little chord buddy, and it's something like you put on the neck of it, and you're able to push down on just these little buttons, kind of like Guitar Hero, and make certain chords out of it. And even with that, I am absolute shit. So
It didn't work with Guitar Hero.
didn't help me. Sorry, chord buddy, I'm not endorsing this. This is terrible. Yeah, I'm musically declined. I love music. Like, music to me is like the soul of life. It's everything. But I wish I could play, but I just can't. But if I had to sell my soul to the devil, I guess I would have to, basically, just to be able to
Just for an instrument, yeah, for sure. I would have to do the same.
like.
Yeah, I'm glad I have it.
Yeah, dude, that's amazing. My sister got it, and she got the talent. She like picks up an instrument, she like picks it up within a week and learns it. I'm just like, this is stupid. Fuck this. Like, I got the bad genes. So
Thanks, mom and dad.
yeah. But you know, it is what it is. So,
Damn.
I will say it's absolutely an honor to have you. And is there anything that you would like to tell our listeners and our viewers, maybe those who are going through the same journey, struggling with it, or anything else? I know I watched a video. You don't like needles, so like you're not against tea. You just rather not take it. And Dakota tea is testosterone, in case you didn't know. And so
Thanks, Josh.
well, for anybody that didn't know, and I while I was watching that video, I kind of laughed just because of the fact that you have tattoos. That's a needle, you know.
So different.
It's different.
Yeah, no, I totally understand with your reasoning behind what you said within the video for drug abuse and things like that. So, but yeah, if you have anything to say for that.
Yeah, just I encourage everyone to follow their own path and stay true to themselves and who they are. And I hope everyone checks out the record. I spent a lot of time and energy making it, and I'm very proud of the outcome. And it's my first self-produced record, so I hope people will listen to it.
Nice.
Yeah, I second that. Definitely go out there and check that album out. It's good.
Yeah, and I mean, I will, because it's going to come out that day. I will, if you can.
What do you mean that day? You mean today?
Yes. Since it came out today, the links and everything will be down in the descriptions. If you can get that to me, it's like a day early.
Yeah.
Even though it's today. So, but yeah, no, we absolute honor to have you. I wish the best for you, because I know it's a long, hard struggle for everybody taking the same journey, because today's world has a lot of crazy stigmas and just a lot of craziness going on in general. So
Yeah.
it's should be the least of people's concerns, honestly. Like, as long as you're
Seriously, though.
your true authentic self, kudos to you. You're just a human. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I've said that since I was young. Worry about yourself, you know? Just worry
Yeah.
about yourself.
Yeah, Karens. Kens.
No, it's Darren's.
Oh, Darren's. I mean, whatever. So yeah, absolutely. We hope to have you back sometime.
Yeah, I would love to. Thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely. And well, everybody, stay mindless.
Stay mindless.
Awesome.
Thank you for listening to the Mindless Morning Show. We appreciate you picking us out of the many great podcasts out there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell to get notified whenever we release a new episode or bonus content. Now go enjoy the rest of your mindless day.